Hello, everybody. This is Mohammed Ibrahim, Guide of Egypt. I love to share with you today my thoughts and ideas about the current situation. We will talk today about the relationship between four things: coronavirus, the sun, ancient Egypt, and Atlantis. I know it sounds weird, but let's start one by one and we will see the result. And if you are convinced, share with me your ideas and thoughts as well. According to the ancient Egyptian teachings and knowledge, I can tell you that the sun had 5 cycles, daily 5 cycles, and also grand 5 cycles. And if we can use the Vedic as a reference, we know that the grand cycle of the year is 24,000 years, 12 as developing, 12,000 years up and 12,000 years down. So we can say that one cycle, one grand cycle of the sun is 25,000 years. So we can say that the grand cycles may be, according to the ancient Egyptian concepts, also are the same amount of years. So I can say that the daily cycles are representing a very, very small scale or example for the major cycles of civilizations. So the first cycle is representing the creation, maybe not only of mankind, but the creation of the universe, the creation of matter, of everything. And when we say 5 cycles, it doesn't mean that they're gonna start from 1 and finish at 5 and that is will be the end. No, the 5 cycles can be repeated several times, and they can represent also cycles inside each cycle. Like each cycle can have or can go through the 5 cycles. So we're talking about something like the flower of life. So let's start and see the ancient Egyptian belief about the story of the cycles of the sun. Okay. So we will talk about the sunrise, or the circle of the sun from the sunrise till the sunset, and from the sunset till the sunrise. So the lecture is called The 5 Cycles of the Sun. The first cycle is called Kipper or Khibr. That is how we shall say it in a proper way, Khibr. And we can say this is the dawn time. This is the time like 1 hour or 90 minutes before sunrise. This is the example. Khibr is the scarab. So the ancient Egyptians imagined that there is a giant scarab is pushing the sun through or across the skies, and it will keep pushing the sun till we witness the sunrise. Okay, so that time or that kind of cycle, they call it Khibr. This is a representation or a painting on a papyrus, and it shows the boat of Ra, and it is the story of the afterlife. The boat is sailing from sunset to sunrise again, and we can see Khibr or Kipper. So this is the scarab, Khibr. And to make sure that you don't get confused and mix between Khibr and the fly, I brought you the picture of the fly. So that is the fly is completely different from the scarab. Khibr, the word Khibr means rebirth, means born, born means new beginning. And as a commercial way here, if you visited Egypt before, they call it good luck. Okay, it has nothing to do with luck. It is a new beginning, and new beginnings are always good beginnings, especially the beginning of the sun, when you have the ability to see after long night, after darkness. And also the word khibr can be explained as existence or form or shape. This is the scarab with two wings, and we can see the rear legs. We can see the shin symbol. The shin symbol here is a symbol of eternity. So this action is going to happen forever. So as I explained again, it means new beginning. We are going to see the sun, the sunrise, or the born of the sun as a new beginning for a new day. Dawn. So it is not exactly sunrise. It is at the time before sunrise and sunrise and like 1 hour after sunrise. So it is that time period. So it's not an exact moment. No, it's like a time of maybe 3 hours. This is from Dendera temple, and we can see the scarab from a unique direction, the underbelly, and we can see the sun being pushed, and it is at the front part of the scarab. It is. This is another picture also from Dendera temple. We see the wavy lines are we can see these wavy lines. This is the body of Nut. This is the knitter or the symbol of the sky, and she is giving birth to the scarab as new beginning, as a new day. Okay. And why they made a wing to the scarab? To give us the sense of motion, that the sun is moving across the skies. This is another shape of the scarab. This is one of the necklaces for King Tutankhamun from the Egyptian Museum, made out of gold and inlaid with lapis lazuli and turquoise and agate. Also from the Dendera temple, some representations to show how the ancient Egyptians understood the meaning of the cycle. So this is Kibr himself as a human on the left side, and on the right side we can see a lady, could be Nut, is holding the sky above her head with the stars, and the scarab is like representing a big paw above the sky, representing the journey of the sun, like half circle. Okay, so here again we can see Nut, and we can see her feet, and she's giving birth to the sun in this picture, but we can see the scarab existed here near this place as if he did his job and he already pushed the sun across the sky for sunrise. Okay. Some people here say it's more like a crab, but for sure it is a scarab, and we can see because of the head. The second cycle is Ra, the morning. So we said that Kibr, the first cycle, is like 1 or 90 minutes before dawn, and it could last for another 90 minutes, total 3 hours. So we can say Ra is the time from 7 a.m. to maybe 10 a.m. the morning. It is Ra as a falcon with the solar disk above his head. This is from Abydos temple. This is the name of King Seti first, Min Ma'at Ra. And we can see Ra is the same thing, a falcon with the solar disk above his head. So this is the famous shape of Ra as a deity with the solar disk. The same story, the boat of the sun, the boat of Ra, and here is Ra in the middle, and they are crossing the skies in the afterlife. And this is the word Ra. Some people, they call Ra the stubborn, because in some rare photos for Ra, they represented him as a ram. And we know the ram has a stubborn head. Some people will say, no, the ram is for Khnum and later for Amun-Ra. But originally the ram shape or the ram, the deity was a head of a ram, originally was Ra. And here it has the title Rahurakhti. Here, this picture is from City First Temple in Abydos. Here it is. So this is not Amun-Ra. And we know because of the shape of the horns of Amun-Ra are around the ears. So this is Ra, not Amun-Ra. Cycle number 3, Atome. And Atome means the perfect, the complete. It came from the word tam, means finished, done, perfect. Atome, the complete one. Atome is noon time. Okay, so back to the first cycle again. So Kibr, new power, newborn, new power. Ra, like a teenager, strong, but no wisdom yet. Atome, extreme power, extreme wisdom. So the levels of power and wisdom were very high, and there was like a balance between both of them, power plus wisdom. That is part of, or that is the name, Tam or Atom. Now we come for the fourth cycle, Atone, the powerful. Atone, that is part of the name Akhenaton. Okay, Atone is the powerful one. So Atom, the third cycle was noon. Atone, the afternoon. Extreme power, but also big ego. So Atone. So I think when Akhenaton recalled the cycle of Atone, he was not challenging the priests of Amun-Ra because of religion. No, he was trying to recall the rules of the cycle. He didn't like the rules of the cycle of Amun. He wanted to live during the cycle or the rules of the cycle of Atone, power. Okay? Because Amun-Ra is sunset. So the sun after sunset, you don't see it because it is in the other side of the planet. And it means darkness. So in darkness, you see nothing. To find the truth, it will be very, very hard, if not impossible. If something happened in front of 10 people, you may have at least 8 different stories. That's why all the games, all the tricks, all the problems and manipulations, everything like this happened during the cycle of Amun-Ra. But the cycle of Kipper and the cycle of Ra and Atom and Atone, everything was clear because those are the cycles of the day during the daytime. Okay, so my belief that Akhenaton, he was not fighting for religion. No, he was fighting for the rules of the cycle. And that's why he maybe was fighting he was fighting the fate. He was fighting something he could not change because the rules of the cycle will happen no matter what. Okay. And the cycle number 5 is Amun-ra, and Amun means the hidden one. That is sunset, and the sun will disappear, and it will last the whole night, and then we will come back to the cycle number 1, Kippur, again. Atlantis. The story of Atlantis was told by two people, Plato and Solon. Plato and Solon came to Egypt and studied in On, Heliopolis, in North Cairo now. And they started their story saying that the Egyptian priest told them that there was an ancient civilization, very advanced, and disappeared. In a very short way, he explained to them about that mystical or strange civilization. They didn't, or he didn't give them more details. So I believe that Atlantis was ancient Egypt during the cycle of Atone. So here is the story. We have ancient Egypt in every cycle. So during the cycle of Amun, that is the regular ancient Egypt we know, what I can call it dynastic Egypt. And during the cycle of Atone, there was advanced ancient Egypt, very powerful. And during the cycle of Atom, there was another ancient Egypt, and Ra and Kippur. Okay, and I think we have buildings and constructions were left from each cycle, at least the last 3 cycles. All what we call a dynastic work from the cycle of Amun-Ra, and the statues, giant statues, like the statues in front of Luxor Temple, like the Ramesseum statue, like the Colossi of Memnon. My opinion, they were made during the cycle of Atone, and I believe the pyramids and the obelisks were made during the cycle of Atone. So Plato gave us a description that of the shape of the city of Atlantis, and this is the shape we can see. So I found that there is similarity between this shape and the ancient Egyptian symbol Newt. The symbol Newt means civilization, means city with order. It is the city square with the main 4 streets crossing the square. And that symbol was given to Egypt. And in the Egyptian writings, and also other writings like the Persian writings, they give the same symbol to Egypt and the other symbol to the other countries, mountains, primitive people. Okay, so that symbol is Newt. So if we put the symbol Newt and the symbol Aton, it will give us similar shape to the design was given to us by Plato for Atlantis. So what is the story of coronavirus? So my opinion that the dramatical change from light to darkness was happened after a great disaster. And that disaster could be just one disaster or maybe 2 or more. So my guessing that after the cycle of Atone, it was great disaster, at least 2. The first one, solar flare or solar waves from the sun destroyed our civilization, followed by a great flood. So I think, according to some scientists, that the solar flare was like 10,500 BC. And after this disaster was another disaster at the end of the last ice age, 9,700 BC. Great flood covered our planet. And according to many stories and some opinions, like Dr. Robert Schoch, that we found the erosions, the effect of the that cataclysm or the flood after the last ice age, existed surrounding in the surrounding walls of the Sphinx. And also I found it in many other places in Giza Plateau and in other places in Egypt. And also the effect of the solar flare, but that is, you will see it in my next lecture. And people who join my tours also, they enjoyed the explanation and they see it with their own eyes. So my point is that the changing from light to darkness, it requires disaster, big disaster. And I think that is normal and natural, because when you keep your eyes, like when your eyes used to the light, watching and seeing everything, and suddenly dark, you feel like as if you are disabled. But the opposite, changing from darkness to light, it doesn't require a similar disaster. It maybe require more consciousness, more connection. And that is the main subject now, the coronavirus. So I think it is not bad thing. I think it is blessing. I think we are sitting together, families, and people are staying home, away from so many things, trying to survive, but in a better way than our ancestors who were trying to survive after the disasters, 10,500 BC or 9,700 BC. So I think this will finish quickly, and we are going to be in better conditions and situation. When we all heard that 2012 is the end of the world according to the Mayan calendar, no, it wasn't the end of the world, it was the end of the cycle of Amo-ra. So the good news is we are now inside, or we already started the cycle of Kibber, the cycle of new beginning, the cycle of dawn time. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. And if you have any questions, please put it in comments, and I will make sure to respond to all your comments. Have a great day, and bye-bye.